Hey everybody, it's Ashanti from Ashanti's Back. I'm so glad you're here. We are making a crochet ruffle hat. To get started, what you need is yarn and each color of your choice. I just recommend something light so you can see the stitches. You're going to be using a 5mm crochet hook for the ruffles. You're going to be using a 6. So going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need some sort of stitch marker. I'm using a safety pin. You're also going to need a darning needle to weave in your loose ends. You're going to need a pair of diamonds or any type of jewel that you want to place on your hat. And with that being said, I'm also going to be stitching my name tag or keep pressing my name tag inside my hat so people can know who they purchased from if you decide to purchase or sell your hat, excuse me. If you've already downloaded the materials list, you should already have your pattern. I'm going to be working from my notepad because that's how I write my patterns unless they're digital. Without further ado, let's get started, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to make a magic ring, which is pretty tricky. So I'm going to give you two versions. I'm going to give you the magic ring, and then I'm going to give you single crochets that you tie into a circle that you're going to be able to pull tight. So you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so what you want to do for your magic ring, you're going to take 2 fingers. Make sure the end of the tail is facing toward you. You're going to wrap twice, and you're going to take your ring finger and just slightly hold it, okay? See how I have this X shape on my 2 fingers? Okay. I'm going to take my needle. I'm going to insert underneath the first loop, right? I'm going to hook onto the second. I'm going to do a twisting motion. And I'm going to go back and get that second string. So all I did was go under and twist, take the same string that I went in with, and pull through. Now I'm going to pull my fingers out. Okay. Now what this does is it acts as some sort of adjustable, invisible kind of ring to where once I take this crochet hook out and I pull the end of the string, it's going to tighten my circle and give me the base to the hat like that. Okay. So in this magic circle, I'm going to be working 10 single crochets. So what I'm going to do first, after I make that chain, after I make that magic ring, let me show you the second part. Excuse me. So that's your magic ring. Now, if that was too complicated, right? This is how you can also do it. You're going to take your hook, make a slip knot. Okay. Boom. You're just going to make that X over your hook. All right. Make that X over your hook. Can hold it with your index and your thumb. Hold that loose string. And you're going to yarn over and pull through a loop, and you're going to make a slip knot, right? And then from there, you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to make 5 single crochets. And then you're going to take the needle, and you see these 2 loops right here? You're just going to slide them on your hook. Boom. Okay. 2 loops. Then you're going to take the long string and you're going to yarn over. You're going to pull through the first loop, now the second loop. And that is what's called a slip knot. And now you have this tiny circle that's still going to be adjustable like the magic circle. Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm just going to roll with it from here because I'm already here and I don't want to unravel it and confuse you, okay? So now I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. These chain 2s do not count. Why? They're just here for height and to establish our double crochets, okay? A double crochet is when you take 1 stitch pretty much and go through 2 loops 2 times. So like this. Yarn over, insert inside that hook right here. Pull up a loop, Okay. I should have 3 loops on my hook. This is what I'm talking about. Pull through 2 loops. Okay. That's the first one. Now pull through the last one. 2. That is why those 2 chain stitches don't count. They're establishing the height of how you're going to add 2 stitches, okay? So that was number 1. We're going to do this 10 times. So remember, yarn over, insert in the circle, yarn over. So now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to pull through 2, that's 1, pull through another 2, that's complete. So that's number 2. They're going to do number 3. Remember, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up. Okay, if that tail gets in the way, you just push it back and you just hold it. Okay. Pull through 2, that's 4. This is number 5. Just gonna get a little faster because I got the pattern. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. You see how I have this little cutesy circle? Right? Take it off the hook. Very cutesy. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. This is where that stitch marker comes in at. So this is what I want you to do. This is what I didn't do, but I'm going to do from now on. If you see, this is our chain 2. Where is it? So you have 1, 2. This was our first stitch right here. That was the first double crochet we made. These 2 were just the chains. When we did 1, 2, when we chained up, this one is the actual first stitch. I want you to always mark your first stitch so you don't get confused on what you're doing. So when I say take the last stitch and join it to the first stitch, you're not confused, okay? So all I did was insert the hook into the first stitch with the stitch marker. I'm going to do a slip stitch, which means I'm going to yarn over, pull through that loop, pull through the second loop, remove the stitch marker. Okay, remove the stitch marker. And there I go. Now it's connected, it's a round. This is how you're going to complete all of your rounds. Alrighty, so again, chain 2. Remember, they don't count. They're establishing the next set of our round. Now, this is going to be your first increase round, okay? An increase is 2 stitches in the same stitch because we have to grow the circumference of the circle. We want this to grow bigger and bigger. So what we're going to do in your first stitch, right? And we shouldn't have taken that out. I know it's going to be underneath your chain 2. That's okay because that's your first stitch. So that's all right. So it's going to look like I'm inserting my hook in the same stitch that I just chained 2 on top of. Exactly. Yes. So with that being said, you're going to double crochet in each stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, go through 2. Okay, we're going to pause this because I'm going to change the angle. All right, thank you so much while I adjusted my camera so I could be of better assistance to you through that angle. Now that you pretty much have the basics, right? You're going to do 2 in the same stitch. That was 1. This is our second. Okay, now We're going to work two double crochet, in each stitch, okay? Now, remember, mark our first stitch. And you can mark your first stitch with whatever you have, okay? Remember, 1, 2, that's a chain. The third stitch, usually after the chain, is your first stitch, okay? Don't overcomplicate it, don't overthink it. Now, we're moving on. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, that's 1. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, that's 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Insert your hook, get it. And this is going to give us 20 stitches. So because we did 10 double crochets and this is our increase round, we should have 20 stitches because we are adding more rows to our circle. Okay. And I learned this basic pattern maybe about a year or two ago, and I've just been rolling with it. And I've adjusted it a bit to fit my comprehension of learning. So if you enjoy my pattern, please tag me in my Instagram at Ashanti's Bag. That way I know that you completed your hat using my pattern. And I also just want to bring more awareness to the pattern for those that are Black, Black women, pretty much. Just letting them know that you can do this skill simply from your home. I'm doing this from my home. And I plan on selling this hat and making income because these hats are valued at between $25 to $40, depending on how you decorate your hat, how you add your flair, your uniqueness to your hat. Also, all proceeds that were funded toward this workshop are supporting my journey to nationals as Miss Black Southwestern USA. I am competing at the Miss Black USA pageant this year. And so this virtual workshop is actually a fundraiser to support my journey. So thank you all so much for supporting a cause that was bigger than you and reaching a platform that is not only shining a light on Black women, but giving us a safe space to create, giving us a safe space to be feminine, and giving us a safe space to be represented. So most of your rounds are going to end with an increase, right? 2 stitches in the same stitch is an increase. So the same way we ended round 1, okay, right there. I know I took my stitch marker out. You don't have to. Boom. You want to keep your stitches loose. Not too loose, but just keep your tension light because you don't want to pull too tight and then the hat starts to kind of curl in because your stitches are too tight. If that's happening, your tension is too tight. Remember, chain 2, it doesn't count, right? Okay, we're working on round number 3 because we have 20 stitches. Now we need 30 stitches. How do we do that? We're going to do 1 double crochet in this first stitch here. Okay, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2. That is my first stitch. I'm going to mark it. Okay. Now in the next stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Okay. And then in this next one, I'm going to do 1 double crochet. And then in the next one, I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So your pattern is going to be 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet. This is how we're going to increase our rounds to get the size that we're looking for. The size that we're looking for is a 5.5 or 6.5 inches. And when I measure it, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we have our 1 double crochet. In this next stitch, we're going to do 2. Just 2 here. Now the next one, we're going to do 1. Okay, next one, 2. Next one is 1. The next one is 2. The next one is 1. The next one is 2. 1, 2. And what you'll see is with every increase, the V's are going to be on top of each other. I know it's kind of weird what I'm talking about, but this V is on top of this V. You see how those increases are on top of each other right here? That's how you know you are doing it correctly. And this is why I always recommend my students to pull from the inside, because you don't have to keep unraveling yarn, unraveling yarn. It is a little difficult to find the center, but if you get great at it, it's going to be such a relief when you're crocheting. You don't have to just stop and unwind the yarn. But anyways, we left off at 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Remember, we always end with the increase. Good job. Uh-oh, I messed that one up. Okay, always end with an increase. Good job. I know you're doing amazing thus far. I just know it. I don't even have to be around you to know. If you can follow instructions, you can crochet anything. Okay? So now I'm going to end my round by inserting into my first stitch, slipping through that first loop, slipping through that second. Okay, this is what you should have so far. This is 30 stitches. Okay, I try to keep my tension loose so that my work doesn't just scrunch up like that around me, okay? I'm gonna have a sip of water. All right, so next what we're gonna do, something sticky behind me. Okay, now what we're gonna do, I need some more water. Now what we're gonna do is round 4. Round 4, we're gonna get 40. So how you can tell what round you're on? 1 round, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 10, 20, 30. Now we're doing 40. Okay. Always do what? Chain 2, that don't count. They're just our height stitches. They're just redefining the pattern that we're doing double crochets. So when you're trying to add 40 stitches, what you need to do is increase the amount of one double crochets that you're doing. So in this last round we did 1 double crochet and then 2. So now we're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2, then the increase, okay? So in the first stitch here, 1 double crochet. Now I mark my stitch. And the difference between a safety pin and a stitch marker is the size, and it's not as sharp as it's just not as sharp. I don't think I have one around right now, but it's just not as sharp. They're tiny and they're plastic, so they're not as sharp. But if you're fine with that, I'm fine with it because I can roll with it. Anyways, let's go to the next stitch. Another single crochet. So remember, we doing two. Excuse me, another double crochet. So we're doing 2 double crochets and 2 separate stitches, but the third stitch is going to be 2 double crochets and 1, which will be your increase. Okay. Here, is going to be an increase. Okay. Restart the pattern. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet. Now the increase, which is 2 in the same stitch. So remember, it's 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Okay. Now stop and unravel. You know, I wish I had somebody who could just unravel for me while I make these videos. Be lovely, wouldn't it? Okay. Another set of 1 double crochets, 2 double crochets. Oh, excuse me. Another 1 double crochet. This one is 2 double crochets. 1, 1, 2. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. That's your increase. Now your 1, 1, double. Okay. Halfway through it. Keep going. 1, 1, 2. And I believe this is so beginner friendly. This pattern is super easy. I mean, I'm telling you, after the first time, of course, I was like confused. It took me maybe about 4 tries with the first 2 rounds to make sure I understood the pattern, especially when it did get to the third row and it started to change, the pattern started to change. Once I understood what I was doing, how I was going to be increasing in whichever other row I needed based on the round that I was on, excuse me, I began to understand what I was doing more. So, of course, by round 3, you're understanding that you're not just increasing, but you're adding stitches and you're increasing. And if you're on round 3, you're going to have 30 stitches. If you're on round 4, you're going to have 40 stitches. If you're on round 5, you're going to have 50 stitches because you started out with 10 double crochets. You're counting by 10 by adding an increase in every other or every every other stitch or every 2 stitches or every 3 stitches, right? That's it. So in this instant, we're adding a increase in every 3rd stitch. Make sense? Yeah, once you get the hang of that, you're fine. You're going to be cranking these out on your lunch break, or at least starting the circle on your lunch break. Okay? So that was a double. Yeah, okay. Yep, we got just enough. Single, single. Last one here is a double because you don't crochet into that chain stitch. Okay? You don't crochet in that chain stitch right here. Okay? This is where your chain 2 is. Can you see? Okay, that's where your chain 2 is. Where my finger is. You don't crochet into that. You crochet in this next one here, okay? So you're gonna yarn over, insert your hook, increase. Always end with an increase. Okay. Insert into the first stitch. Okay, remove my stitch marker. So now I'm on track. Going to slip, slip. As you can see, it's kind of starting to form a round circular hat shape. I'm going to unadjust the mirror here, because I don't like the way it's mirroring. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So within an hour, you should kind of be around here, or if you're great at this, you should be a little bit further. So within an hour, we've already gotten through 4 rounds. Okay, so chain 2, remember they don't count. First stitch is in here. Now for round 5, the pattern is going to change up a little bit. So 1 double crochet, mark your first stitch. The next stitch, you're going to do another 1 double crochet. Okay, and then the next stitch, you're going to do another 1 double crochet. So you should have 3 separate double crochets. Okay, now in the 4th stitch, you're going to do your increase. So every 4th stitch, you're going to increase. Okay, now the pattern starts over. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase. I knew I was correct. Increase. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase. 1 double, 1 double, increase. And for most of y'all out there that are self-taught, that's a skill. You know, never be ashamed of your story. I am partially self-taught. I mean, I grew up around crochet. I grew up around fashion, handmade fashion at that. But this was something I couldn't really grasp as a kid for whatever reason. I think I just wanted it too bad that I would get simply frustrated when I felt like I wasn't as fast as my grandmother. So I would resort to sewing, which just felt more instant. The gratification just felt more instant, whether it was hand sewing or just sewing on a machine. But with crochet, what I love about it is the details that you can add with your hand, and it looks just as crafted as a machine once you get really good at it. And the smaller needle that you use, well, the smaller the crochet hook, the better the work starts to look. I mean, this looks great now, but when you use a smaller needle, the stitches are closer, so there's not as many holes. So it just looks pristine. It just looks like a machine made it, and it's all by hand. It's a great workout for your shoulders. It's a great meditation tool, stress relief tool. It's a great income opportunity. Again, like I said, these hats are trending, and summer is literally 30 days away. Like, come on now. You can crank out a few amount of hats in 30 days if you learn this pattern. I mean, you can crank out 10, right? I think you could. And then you go out to these local festivals, even down the street to a local bar, and just let people know your story. I'm a handcrafted seller. I make these crochet hats. I'm selling them for whatever your price is, and just come home with some money. Sell them at your church, sell them at your school. If you are a high school student, this is a great way for people to come and purchase from you during the summertime. You can have your summertime gig, and everyone will know you as the crochet guy or the crochet girl. Know you got them hats, you know. People are going on vacations with their family. Their mom might be looking for that. They say, I know a friend. Mom might load you up with $100 for 5 hats for the family, you know? Okay. So we always end with an increase, right? We put an increase in every fourth stitch, right? If not, please go back because it will affect how your hat turns out, the shape of your hat. You can you're gonna end up with a cone if you don't go back and fix your work, okay? If you're okay with having a cone, fine. Say it's an elf hat. Say it's a chocolatier's hat, whatever you want to do. But just like you know, if you don't fix that, you're gonna have a little cone top of your hat. So let me just unravel some yarn. And yes, they do have tools that look like napkin holders, paper towel holders that are for your yarn. I don't have one yet. I don't know why, but I just don't. Because I usually pull from the middle and I don't have that problem. But you should have 50 stitches right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. When I talk about the circumference of it. Okay. Ooh, please excuse me. So at this point, yeah, start at the one right there. Yeah, you got about 6.5. And that's because I used a 5 millimeter. Now remember, I was telling you between 5.5, which is right here, excuse me, right here, is a small. So if you were making like a kid's hat, I would say around 5.5. You're making for a woman or a teen, I'd say like 6.5. Now, at this point, this is optional. This is where it gets optional. You can either add another round. So we're already at close to 6.5. That would give us exactly 6.5. No, we're at 6.5, right? I think that's fine. That's a medium sized hat. You want to do a large, remember, you're going to go and do an additional round. And if you do an additional round, right? Say we say, I want a bigger hat. I know this girl has braids. She constantly wears braids. It's gonna be bulky. This person has dreads, whatever, right? Or this person just has a large head, right? You're going to do another increase round. And what that's going to look like is one double crochet, one double crochet, one double crochet, one double crochet, two. So in every fifth stitch, you're going to make a double crochet. And let me do it with you real quick because I don't want any confusion. This is written in the pattern, but I'm going to show you on video as well. Okay. You do your chain two that doesn't count, right? In that first stitch, right? That first stitch right here where my nail is. You're going to go one, mark your stitch. And this is a stitch marker. That's what I'm saying. There is no difference between this and this. It's not. I actually think these are too small to work with. And that's my opinion. I just like the safety pins. It's probably because I've been doing that for so long. That's just what I'm used to. Okay, so another one double crochet, another one double crochet, another one double crochet. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you do an increase, 2. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. And because I'm not going to continue that pattern, I just want to measure that with you. Okay, that's around 7. You want to take it there? You want to put it right on the 1? You're getting a 7.5. You pick it right from the beginning, you're still getting 7 and about a third. Anyways, my point is, if you are making a small, say between 5.5 and 6.5, you're making a medium to large, you're going to stay right here between a 6.5 and a 7.5. If you are making a large, I would stay between 7.5 and 9.5. And remember, with every other stitch, you will increase. So because this is round 6, that means every 5th stitch is an increase. I'm just giving you an example. That's not what I'm going to do. I am satisfied with what I have. Yeah, I'm satisfied. So now what I'm going to do, keep my chain 2, right? That's not going to change. Chain 2 is a part of the pattern. I hope you didn't think that was going to change. Now we're going to double crochet in every stitch, and we're going to start forming what is called the body of the hat. Oops. Okay. 2, 3, 4. This is round 6, by the way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Whoops. Happened to 22. 22, 23. Whoops. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Thank you for the love in the chat. 39. Okay, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Where did I leave off at? 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 60. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, starting to have the hat shape. And chain 2. That was round 6, 7. So now, that was round 6, excuse me. So round 7, you're pretty much gonna do the same thing all the way until you have about 14 rows. And then we're gonna start the ruffles. So you're just gonna do 1 double crochet in each stitch. And double crochet in each stitch. And double crochet in each stitch. I counted all the way to 60 for you, just so you could understand that. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, I'm on round 60, so I know 7. Excuse me, I'm around 7, so I know I should still have 60 because that is the round that I chose to leave off with. Remember, I didn't make any additional increases because I didn't want to. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going. Remember, this is round 7. We have 7 more because we need 14 rounds in total. Okay, just gonna keep this up. After this round 7, I'm going to pause the video so I can get a move on with my stitches, and I will come back after I have 14 rounds and I'll show you exactly how to get the ruffles. Now with the ruffles, I just do 3. I do about, yeah. No, I do about 2 to 3. Yeah, I was right. I do about 3 to 4 layers of ruffles because I love a lot of ruffles. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. You're going to ultimately have 18 rounds altogether with the ruffles included. So the last 3, yeah, oops. So you're going to have at least 4 additional rounds after your round 14. And that is going to be all ruffles. So you're going to do a decrease round on round 15. And after you do a decrease round, you're going to begin with your ruffles, which will be 3 double crochets in each stitch for round 16, 17, and 18. It's getting a little warm in my room. Hold on. Remember, 1, 2, slip stitch. Okay. 1, 2. This is 8. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you when I get to round 14. Okay, based on the size of your head, 12 rows is good for me. I don't need to go down any further because it's going to cover my eyebrows. And I don't like when my eyebrows don't show because I do a good job at filling in my eyebrows. So after I complete this 12th row, you don't have to do all 14. Like I said, you can just do 12, depending on your head size. This is good enough for me. So I'm just going to complete my last row. And then we're going to get started on the ruffles. And if you are interchanging colors, then I'll show you kind of what to do then. But I'm not interchanging colors. I'm keeping the same one. So I'll do both. And again, all of this is listed on the pattern as far as instructions. This is just a live tutorial to go along with the pattern. So you're not completely lost. So I remember how it was for me when I first started crocheting. I again, I was self-taught. So I remember trying to understand things that I couldn't comprehend. I remember trying to learn from other instructors that spoke different languages, and knowing what fit me may not fit everyone else, and vice versa. So you don't have to crochet all 14 rows and then get to number 14 and realize it's stopping at your nose, and then you have to unravel your hard work. That's going to create discouragement. It has for many of us. So I'm letting you know, please measure and check your hats as you are going, because you may not need all the rows that someone is letting you know you should do, because we all have different head shapes, different head sizes. We all wear different hairstyles. So I don't like the one that one. Oh, okay, I guess that's just the way that one looks then. That one stitch looks a little weird, huh? Mm. All right, this is the last stitch. Oh, no, I have one more. And I am stopping at 12. Like I said, I like the fit at 12. I mean, honestly, it looks no different than when you have 14 rounds because it looks just as long. So if I were changing the color, and let me get a different color so I can demonstrate. All right. I'm actually not going to use this color. I'm just demonstrating this color. Okay. God bless you. So what I would do is I would leave these last two stitches open. I would cut somewhere around here and I would attach. So I'm going to act like I cut that, right? And I'm just going to attach this. And this is for demonstration purposes, okay? So, ooh, if I can get it to go through the, ooh. Okay. So imagine I cut it there where my string is attached, right? And like I told you, I would even go back 3 if I have to. And go ahead and 1, 2, because you don't want the tail too long. However, you don't want your color to start too early. So I'm going to act as if that was me cutting it and attaching it. So I have 1. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's why. So that's the end of my red, right? Because I have a new color. Go through 2, go through 2. I know I skipped one. Guys, give me a second. I'm so sorry. I know I missed one. Okay. All right, whatever. The point is you want to start, you want to make sure that it's starting right there. As close as it can. When you cut it, you want it to start as close as it can to, and you'll have one more here. All right. This is if I was starting a new color and I wanted my ruffles to be a different color than, try to get it like right there. I'm not sure how many inches that is, but that's what I would start doing. So I wouldn't even cut that early. Maybe, like I said, cut somewhere around here. So if you have to demonstrate, with yourself, okay, I have this many stitches left and that's what I'm going to do. That's where I'm going to cut. Do that so that your hat comes out nice. Now, like I said, I'm not adding another color because I'm going to keep it red. But if I were, I would cut here, attach my string, back out of the loops, make sure everything is flush. Excuse me, everything is flush and nice and right. But that's what I would do. So to start our ruffles, because I'm at the desired length that I want to be at. Okay, I'm going to change my hook size to that size 6, right? Mm-hmm. And we are only about an hour and 42 minutes into this. So this should take you around 2 hours max. But if you're a beginner, I say 3 to 4 hours. But if you're an expert, maybe even an hour. It just depends on how fast you are. So I'm going to chain 2. Okay. Well, not just yet. I'm sorry, guys. I have one more row. We got to do a decrease row, so don't change your needle just yet. So with your decrease row, you're going to do one. You're going to just chain one. You're not even chaining two anymore. I'm sorry. You're just going to chain one, right? And then in this first one, you're going to make one double crochet. Okay, mark your stitch. And then in your second one, what you're going to do is another one single crochet. And now you're going to do a decrease. If you don't know what a decrease is when you take two stitches and you take them together. You put them together and it takes away the increase pretty much. It takes away a stitch. So the pattern is one double crochet. Oh, excuse me. The pattern is one single crochet, one decrease. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. I need to act like I know what I'm doing. All right. So it's chain one. Now it's one single crochet. And what you do is you're going to insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. That is a single crochet. And you're going to mark your first stitch like we always do. Like we always do with this time. Okay, another one single crochet. And now this is the decrease. So I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, right? Go into the next one, pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through all 3 of them. Decrease. What that did was take away a stitch. Okay, so single crochet, single crochet, decrease. 1, go right into the next 2. Got 3 loops, pull through all 3. Okay, you're going to work this all the way around so that your hat can pretty much fit more snugly, and we can work on the ruffles so the ruffles aren't sitting so far out on your head. They're going to be nice and tight to your head. That's what you want. You pretty much want to start to slim down the hat. And this is what that decrease is going to do. So your ruffles don't sit so high. You're going to see what I'm talking about. If you don't decrease and you start to go into the ruffles, it's not going to fit. It's going to kind of fit like a lampshade, if you want to say. And it's just going to sit on your head. How you have a wig and you don't glue it down or you don't secure it down with combs, it's just going to sit on your head. And that's going to make or break, I feel like, your project. Whether this is for yourself, whether this is just for fun, you still want to wear your hat. You still want it to be wearable, and you still want to give yourself the best of the best that you can give. Because you may end up modeling your own creations. And if someone wants to try it on right then and there, you want a universal fit. Decrease. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Oops. Okay. 1, 2. And we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I was going to need about 4 hours to demonstrate this, and I don't. I think it's just because you are a fast learner and you have such a passion and an interest for crochet that you're getting the hang of it. And remember, you're doing single crochet. So if you feel yourself attempting to do a double crochet, try and stop yourself before you get too far down the line and you got to unravel your project. You don't want to do that. I mean, it happens to all of us, happens to the best of us, but I don't want you to get discouraged too early in your journey. Even though I can't stop the inevitable, it may happen, but if I can eliminate as much beginner mistakes as I can. I will, especially for my students. Okay, this is a decrease. Okay, single crochet, decrease. Remember, bringing two together. Pretty much doing like a slip stitch through all three. And then the last one is just two single crochets, which kind of is like a double, it's like an increase. So when you end off with two singles, kind of like you ended off with two doubles. You know what? Don't worry about it. You can just leave it as one single crochet because you started with one single crochet. You can just end with one single crochet. You don't have to worry about. And look how flat and flush those lines are. You can tell that that's where I stopped. It's like an invisible line. You can see where I stopped. Oh, you hear my stomach growling, you guys. My yogurt is wearing off. Please forgive me. Woo, yeah. Please forgive me. Crocheting does make you hungry. Have snacks. That's one thing I recommend. Please get some snacks when you crochet because you will be sitting in the same position for a couple hours. And yeah, it's nice to have some snacks. So now that we did our one single crochet decrease, it's time to make the ruffle part. So now we can change our hook. Okay. Now remember, I'm just going to size up. So that was a 5. I'm just going up to a 6. Nothing crazy at all. No real major difference. So with that being said, you're going to chain 2 because we need that height again because we're going to be making some double crochets. And this first stitch, you're going to make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now, mark the first stitch. Remember, 1, 2, right here is your first stitch. Okay, next one, 3 double crochets. 2, 3. You're gonna love how this hat turns out. I mean, I'm getting excited because we are at the very end, and this is my favorite part. I start to get really, really excited for this part here. What was that? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's moving so quickly. 1, 2, 3. Now I intend to teach people. Oh no, did it get in my water? It did. Okay. Now, when I teach people how to crochet, my intentions are for them to sell their work. You don't have to sell your work to be a student of mine. This is just what I promote amongst young Black people or just amongst young people in general, especially if you are struggling. I feel like to keep some money in your pockets for emergencies, rainy days, vacations, things like that. Like if you just feel like your money is going out the door and you've already had a second job, it's starting to wear on your mental. This is where I say crochet is probably one of the best skills that you can adapt because people love fashion. People will always love fashion. And the thing is like the state that we are headed in, currently at the moment, resources may be limited, you know, prices may be higher. However, I have yet to see the price of yarn increase drastically to where you can't afford it. Maybe you're going on vacation and you want to spend more money on the excursions than your super sexy dress or outfit. Crochet yourself a mini skirt and a 2-piece for what, $10? No shipping because it's done by you. And really give yourself a chance to create something unique, save some money in your pockets, and have a one of a kind outfit. I mean, what? Nobody will have what you have on. There's too much of a higher chance of someone wearing the exact same outfit as you when we all shop on the same platform, if that matters to you. But one skinny yarn should be able to get you a whole skirt and top. Okay, I'm just going to unravel some more yarn. And no, my cat is not dead. She is very much alive. I like to pick with her. She is very much alive, guys. They really enjoy, I have two cats, and they enjoy when I crochet. It almost soothes them to watch my hands work. And they love being around me. So this is a way that we all bond, if you want to say. They have some peace and quiet. They feel more connected to me and what I have going on. I feel more connected to them because they're just chilling. I can see what they're doing. They're not tearing up the house. And I know they're getting the attention that they're looking for because they're somehow stimulated by me crocheting, even though they're not the ones that are crocheting. They are still stimulated by my hand movements, by my voice. I don't think they like when it's too quiet around here. It's pretty funny. Sometimes they'll pick up my crochet hook with their teeth and kind of throw it around, and I'm like, you think that's what I do, huh? Is that what I look like to you when I pick up my hook and I'm just swirling it around? That's what it looks like I'm doing. If you have pets, let me know in the comments what kind of pet you have and what's your favorite way to bond with your pet. Because we bond over fashion and yarn, honey. I almost have to sometimes give her separate string of yarn so that she doesn't try to interfere with the yarn that I'm using or working with because I don't like cat hair in my work. And it's not often that I let them in the office. And when I do, they know they have to be this still and quiet. And it's not that I controlled them like that. They just know, okay, mom is not gonna really say nothing to us if we're in one spot and we're not messing with her yarn, we're not jumping and flying cat hair everywhere. They're in one position, I'll usually let them have their moment. We are almost done here with round 14. Because remember, I stopped at round 12 because my head is not that big. And I felt like round 12 was good. Round 13 was our decrease round. And this is round 14, which is our first set of ruffles. Congratulations to you for making it thus far and not giving up on yourself. Huge accomplishment. You're going to feel a sense of, oh my gosh, just excitement. You're going to feel a sense of accomplishment. You're going to feel a sense of just eagerness to do it again, even if you were stressed out. I think that's the one thing about crochet is it can stress you out, but it's like when you're done, you're like, oh my gosh, I want another project. I want to go again. I want to see what else I can create. And that's what kept me going. I started out making small things like rectangular tops, things that I just had to do one single um, pattern for. I didn't really like when a project I was making would change patterns and change needles. I was just really comfortable with small projects that allowed me to be repetitious because I was learning still, like crocheting coasters, like I said, a rectangle top. Granny squares are pretty good because you're pretty much doing the same motion in a square. So it's not that bad. And then once I learned how to make the magic ring both ways, I knew I was ready for a hat or even a pillow. I mean, if you have a circular pillow that you want to crochet over and put a, circular pillow in your house, that's fine too. You can do that. This is once you learn the basics, I mean, the world just opens up. The possibilities become endless once you learn the basic skills. Now, I have left some hats like this, but I always kind of do the small ruffles. I'm going big, okay? I'm going big on big because that's what I want. I usually like, oh, I like this. This one reminds me of strawberry shortcake. Maybe we should. I don't know. I don't have any green. Could have did some leaves or something coming from the top like a strawberry, but I don't have any green. But that would be cool. You see how creative you can get just, with the basic things. And I don't have any yellow to put seeds on it. But anyways, pretty much we're gonna do 3 rounds of ruffles because we want a big ruffle hat. I didn't just do all this work to show you how to do 1 round of ruffles. I want you to have a huge ruffle hat. Again, one that's gonna attract and turn heads. People are gonna say, "Oh my gosh, where did you get your hat? Who makes that hat?" And you get an opportunity to say, "I do," or "I made this." No, I don't sell them. But what you can do is purchase my pattern. And after you're done with this video and you have my pattern, copy and paste that thing. I'm being real, y'all. Copy and paste that thing and you sell it. You sell it. I don't own rights to that. You sell it. That's why I love crochet. No one owns the rights to anything. It's just what you do with your style that makes it unique. Now, you can separate yourself by adding 1 or 2 additional rows or adding 1 or 2 additional signature, jewels or patches, whatever it is that you do to turn yours into yours. But ultimately, we all have our base from someone. Um, and everyone's look the same. Everyone uses different needle sizes. Everyone uses different yarn. Everyone uses different colors. You might only make black bags or black hats. So, whoa, excuse me, guys. So I know to always, if I need a black hat, I know who to come to. If I want a colorful hat, I would know who to come to. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. All right. So I'm almost at the end. Remember 3 double crochets in each stitch. And don't forget to get yourself a snack. If you're hungry, take a break, get a snack, have a sip of water. I don't want you working yourself to death now. I just want you to make a hat. Okay. This hat is the star of the show, not my cat. Excuse me, y'all. Okay. Okay, so then you do the same thing. Chain two, three double crochets in the first stitch. That's my first stitch. I'm going to mark it. 2, 3. Okay, second one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Two, and 3. Okay, 1, let me unravel some more yarn. Okay. Look at that already. It's getting somewhere. Remember, you're just going to do 3 in each stitch. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. If you miss a stitch, just try to get it as close as you can. And most importantly, just try to keep your double crochets even. You know, you don't want to have 2 double crochets in one stitch and 4 in the next. Just try to keep it very even. It's just 3, okay? You want to do 5, just make sure you do 5 in each. You want to do 2, just make sure you do 2 in each. And this is why I chose red, because I think red is easier to see. Yellow is really easy to see. Blue, purple. But when you start getting like black, white, they're a little harder to see. Orange is good as well. It's a bright color to see. Gotta unravel some more yarn. If I'm stopping, it's because I'm unraveling more yarn. Okay. Okay, I messed up on that one, but I'm just gonna keep going, okay? We're almost done. This is the best part, so hang in there, okay? Feels like it's going by slow, but it's not. Okay, I'm coming to the last bit. The third round of um, double crochets is optional. I kind of like what I have going on right now. So I'm actually going to stop after this round because I like the ruffles that I have. And I need to move this out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Last one. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, find your bow. Okay. I'm gonna clip and turn my heat press on because I'm gonna add some decorations. Now I'm gonna take my darning needle. I left about 4 inches with the tail, and I'm just gonna choose which is this is gonna be the inside of my hat. Okay, and I'm just going to diagonally cross through stitches. You know, and then I'm gonna make a final tie, and then after that, I'm just gonna clip any remaining. I'll do one more knot. Okay, and then boom, all right? So that it's hidden in there really well. Okay. And this is your hat. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. So now what we're going to do, okay, I'm just gonna put all my items up and wait for my heat press to get hot. And yeah, then we're gonna model our hat. Now, remember I told you we're gonna be adding our name tape in here. All right, it's nice and hot. So I'm just gonna boom, stamp it. Stamp, stamp, stamp. As fast as I can. I'm not looking for perfection because I understand that this is just what it is. Okay. Get someone. She knows what's about to happen. So I'm just going to do maybe my first strip. Oops. Oh no. Okay, I really want to make sure this looks like right. Okay. And I'm heating. Put it down for a couple seconds. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'll do that one right there. Okay. Okay. Some of them stuck, some of them didn't. To me, it's no big deal. Just give it one final press. Okay. There's your hat. So let me blur my background. And then hey y'all. And you have your very own crochet ruffle hat. And you see why I told you to stop at the 12th row so your hat doesn't like come across your eyebrows. I'm like, I'm having a hard time with my bang real quick. I have some hair in my eye too somewhere. Oh my gosh. Woo! Excuse me, guys. I have some hair in my eye somewhere. But this is your hat. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. I love it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm Ashanti from Ashanti's Bag. And I hope you enjoyed this workshop. Take this live download tutorial and apply it to your pattern. And I cannot wait to see your creations. Tag me in any of your creations at Ashanti's Bag. Bye, guys.